examples of good portfolios. So I think we can start with the session.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Aditi. I
Ma'am,
went.
yesterday you told me to edit my portfolio, so I did it. So can you check once?
I did. So I went through your portfolio. I like everything about it except when you go to the illustration part, no? There is one illustration that is lying down.
Ma'am, which one you're talking about? I didn't send you in WhatsApp.
The pencil illustrations. Slide number, let me tell you.
Aditi, you can show your portfolio, you can share your screen.
Okay, sir.
Where is it?
Is it visible,
okay, you're
ma'am?
sharing it here.
Yeah.
Oh, you changed it.
No, ma'am. Actually, this was mine only. I think you're talking about this.
Yeah, I think I'm talking about Disha's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just gave her comments on it. Okay. Go ahead, Aditi.
Yeah, ma'am. Just a second.
All right. Can you go to page number 3?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is an artwork coming in, no? This should come after the contents page.
Yeah, ma'am. It's like about me, so I thought to keep it before the content.
I understand, but
As in here,
if you want to keep it like at first or something, that is okay. This can be your first project, but this should be after the contents page.
So like I should give a heading to it also after content if I'll keep it.
Yeah. Give it a heading and include that heading into the contents.
Okay, ma'am.
Apart from that, I'm looking at other things and it looks good. You finally finished the mood board also.
Yeah, this one also I did.
Alright, this is also pretty cool.
And I'm like I try to separate this object drawing like into like I have told no to 2 to 3. So like to me it was looking this was looking more great. So that's why I kept it like this.
No, but now it's fine.
Okay.
The font is fine. So it's not disturbing anymore. It's not distracting.
Yeah, I made it, yeah. I removed that reflection part.
Yeah, it looks to the point now. Works. Alright. So for the one where you mentioned foreshortening, no?
Yeah.
You don't have to write it foreshortening there. And like if they ask you about the illustration, then you can say like you add this
Yeah,
because you want
the
to
heading
use.
I have written the foreshortening.
Just write artworks and on top of like in pencil shading works, portraits.
So like I should
Portrait.
remove this, the title portrait and foreshortening.
Foreshortening one. Sorry.
I should remove this heading foreshortening and portrait. Okay.
Yeah. Just keep medium pencil shading.
Yeah.
Yes. Looks good. Then you come to add our sustainability.
That's it.
All right, nice. So you kept your best work in the end.
Yeah.
Perfect. Works it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So guys, let me help you understand what are the basic requirements in a good portfolio. So in a portfolio, we always start with the title page. So I'm sorry, my voice recognition was on. So in the first page where you're doing the portfolio title, you can either choose to write the word portfolio and give your name right under it. That is the simplest way to go about it if you're going for a minimalistic aesthetic. But if you are a colorful person, if you think you have quirky characteristics, if your personality is different, or you're a dancer, or you like to doodle, so you can include those parts in your portfolio cover. Maybe like if you're a doodler, you can include tiny doodles on top or like sides like a pattern. If you're interested in dancing, music, you could probably have one line illustration or something which is very simple, like very simplistic, which does not distract the eye, is what should be included on the first page. So after that, you come to the introduction page, which is going to be the second page of your portfolio. That can be your about me, or you can also refer to yourself as in third person. So you can say about Aditi or who is Aditi. So you can start with questions like that. And then you go on to explain. So what makes Aditi Aditi? So the kind of aesthetic she likes, or the kind of mm, work that you are going to present in your portfolio. You can give hints about it. So if like one of the person I saw they're very much into acrylic paintings. So you can mention that you like that medium. And finally, when you're writing about me, the most important part after explaining about yourself, your personality, or the kind of hobbies you like, or the kind of design aesthetic that you want to do, now you have to mention the kind of course you're going into. So, the skills that you have, which are going to be useful for that course, or the artworks which are relevant to that course. So you have to somehow put in this that you are ready to learn new mediums, that you're learn like if your portfolio is not showing a lot of variety, this part becomes very important in the about me part, where you have to mention that you started exploring new materials, but you're still in the process and you're still experimenting with new mediums and you're very interested to try out everything new. So that is the main thing when it comes to approaching any course, because what they want to see is your relevant skills at this point and the existing set of skills that you have. Are they relevant to the course you're looking for in future? So it doesn't matter if your artworks are passion illustrations or just simple portraits or acrylic paintings of landscapes, and you want to go in fashion communication. So, how to fill this gap here? One way is when you have time, is you do projects that are relevant to that particular course. So, if you're going for graphic designing, you'll maybe do some marketing related, branding related projects, or you will do some typography heavy projects. So, that is how you go for the courses that you like applying for and you do not have material for. Now, some people tend to focus on the particular course they're applying for and then prepare according to that. So, in that case, when you have too many projects, what you need to do first is after deciding on to the portfolio title page, after deciding on to how you're going to introduce yourself, now you start looking at all of your work. So The third step is not to make the content page first, but to keep all of your artworks in front of you. Be it digital, be it done as a soft copy, doesn't matter. Soft copy, hard copy, you have to keep all of them in front of you so that you can start the process of selecting, eliminating, so that you have only perfect works relevant to the particular course when you're going for the portfolio submission. So once you keep your artworks in front of you, there are two ways you can approach it. The first way is to show a chronological development. So when you are trying to show a chronological development in your portfolio, that means going in order. So you're going to show all the things that you've been doing since the starting. Maybe not do not start with class LKG, UKG, first standard, second standard. No, start when you started being interested in art seriously. So maybe ninth standard, 10th standard was when most of the people started doing it. In your case, it can differ. So it depends on how you're going about it. So the first way would be to show chronology. If there has been a huge development since 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, you can show that through your artworks that, okay, I was doing this kind of artworks in the starting, and this is how I've developed over time. So even now, like when you're placing things like that, even there, it's not nice to start with a very bad work. So start with one of the best of your earliest works. Okay, so that is the first way to show your chronological order. So that will be, but in case you're doing, so this is for the people who want to show development. Then the second way is to show, like when you have a lot of good artworks, which you've maybe done over a little time, maybe last 1 year, last 2 years. So now there isn't going to be a huge curve of learning. There isn't going to be, so the curve of learning in this case is like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to categorize all of the artworks that you have. So if you have a lot of acrylics, you're going to put them aside. If you have a lot of fashion illustration or styling projects or anything related to fashion, and you're so those things should be the main focus of the portfolio. So now, where one particular project is not the hero, and you cannot show chronological difference in all the material, in that case, you'll be focusing mainly on the categorizing. Now, if you have a lot of hobbies and you have a lot of 2D artwork, so there you can make two huge sections. In the hobbies part, you can have different hobbies you have. So maybe you like glass painting, maybe you like to do 3D modeling or sculpture or anything of that sort. So those will be coming into your hobbies part. And for the 2D artworks, you can have your acrylics, pencil colors, etc., etc., etc. N number of categories there are. Depend, but make sure if you're making categories like that, if for acrylics you're putting three artworks, for pencil colors you're putting at least two artworks. Like you're not going like five in one and there then you go and there is one in another. So when you do this categorization kind of a portfolio, what becomes important is to have similar product like projects in each category. So it's not important you do that similar project thing in each category. One category you can choose and you can so maybe you've done a print development for summer, so you could do a print development for spring or winter. So something that is not exactly the same but in a similar field. But most of the people who will be going for categorization won't need new projects as they already have too many projects. At max, keep the number of the projects you have. So, like, one requirement that you have to look at is what is your college asking for. If it's asking for a particular format of the portfolio, if it's asking for some extra projects that you have to do, so you're going to be focused on those first if there are requirements. But if there are no requirements, then it's advisable that you keep the number of the artworks in your portfolio about 15 to 20, 20 being the maximum. And when I say artworks, it's the number of artworks, one, two, three, four. So if there is a project like a marketing project or a branding project that you did where you did a logo design, you did the packaging design, you did the website design, so all of those things, so those projects can be considered a huge project with a lot of sub projects in it. So you can think of it as about equal to three projects in this case. At this level where you are submitting the portfolios, these projects are pretty huge. So there you have to reduce the amount of artworks you're putting. Okay, so that was about how to categorize, and so either you can do it in order or you can directly go into categorization based on the categories you can think of. See, this categorization is going to differ person to person. It depends on what kind of work you want to portray and what kind of person you want them to recognize you as eventually. Now, about the quality of artworks. So, all the artworks or projects that you're including in your portfolio should be in high resolution pictures with no edges showing when you scan them. So, it's physically impossible to avoid this in all the pictures if you're doing it in a rush. So, I would suggest you give it taking pictures of your artwork, you give it at least a complete day, wherein you're taking every picture carefully, you're editing every picture carefully, because this is going to be the final thing that is going to be visible to the person looking at your portfolio. It will depend on how this image looks, how this artwork appears to that person, that you'll get marks based on. So it's very important that you show them the best possible quality of the artwork. So try to match it with the original work. Try to use contrast, brightness, everything, trying to adjust. And then I think you can come up with pictures that will do justice to your projects. Okay, and also avoid using any pictures which have text that is not visible, or avoid using any pixelated pictures again. But like in some cases I've seen, like when we are using old pictures, like pictures of dancing, singing and everything, there you've used some old pictures, that is acceptable. But when you're talking about artworks, these pictures should be nicely aligned, pages shouldn't be crumbled or crumpled up, like it should be clean. And try to like when you click a scanned picture, then there is an option wherein you can do the whiteboard or you can do the normal scan wherein you'll see the color of the paper, so it is grayish. So if your artworks are digital, that issue won't happen. But for all the work which is hard copy, which has to be converted into images, if you can get your hands on a proper scanner, it's amazing. But because of Corona, I think CAM scanner it is for everyone. After deciding on all the projects that you're going to be showing, taking good quality pictures of them, now we start with the layouting of our portfolio. So the fifth step becomes layout. Now you have to decide on the layout. Now, whatever you thought of in the first page of your portfolio title and your introduction, the about me part, that has to be similar to the layout that you're creating. So now think about, so maybe there were elements in the portfolio page that you liked. So maybe like at page number you can have a tiny doodle or like a kind of emoticon that you develop or anything. So or if you're into floral prints, you can give a tiny floral in the end where you're giving page numbers. So think about layouts details, think about tiny details that won't distract, but like try to give your portfolio a more uh, you feel, so a touch of your personality. In the layout, keep it as simple as possible, minimum elements, go with one particular color scheme and stick to that color scheme all through the portfolio. The color scheme will be decided when you look at your portfolios. If you have excessively colorful, bright projects, then obviously you're not going to use a backdrop which is clashing, which has bright colors, because then the two will intermix. So you will probably prefer a rather plain background, way lighter colors than the ones used in your artworks. So for layouts, usually lighter colors work best, and most of the times the preferred color combination is whites. So like for the base, most of the graphic designers, illustrators prefer using white, as it makes their work pop out and makes the work the hero of the page. So if you have a lot of digital work, you can keep the backdrop plain and you can just work with minimal elements like a couple of lines or a couple of dots or circles or triangles, depending on the kind of personality you have. If you are more into the abstract kind of a person, then maybe like lines or strokes. If you're a painter, then strokes. So these tiny elements in the layout will be enough. Don't have to waste a lot of time thinking about the layout. The only thing that you need to think about is in each and every picture that you're putting according to your layout and all the text that you're putting in your layout. One, is it harmonious together as a slide or as one particular sheet? So you have to check for the harmony. Does it come together well? Uh, and the second thing that you would probably be looking at is creating a balance. So symmetrical balance should be there in each slide. Now that is not very difficult. It's not important that it has to be symmetrical balance. It, as long as to the eye it looks pleasing, you can use asymmetrical balance, any kind of balance. But like it should be pleasing to the eye. It shouldn't be distracting. It shouldn't be chaos. The pictures you're using, all the details should be visible from the artwork. So if you've done a very detailed doodle work and then you're putting a tiny inset picture of it, and like because you want to include more artworks in one page, so that won't be doing justice to your artwork. As long as they cannot see the details, the hard work you've done, there's no point. So keep artworks big. Don't try to skimp on the space when it comes to the artworks. If you think there are two similar ones, like you've done two portraits, one of a man, one of a woman, or a child, so these two can come together. Or if you've done like fashion illustration where you've done one bag, one woman with a dress, so you can put those two together. So think of the categories, how you can combine them so that they look together well, and like through artworks interconnecting also, you can create a sense of balance, harmony, and unity all through your projects. Now coming to the placement of the best work. So the best work should be displayed in the end almost always, unless all of your work is with par, like on par with your best work, which won't be the case. Most of the times you'll have one major masterpiece that you like. That has to be kept in the end. Whatever, and you have to remember that this work that you're putting in the end, is it relevant according to the course? If it isn't, then you keep it in the end of the best of your artworks, and here you keep the project that you think is the most relevant to the course. You can also choose to start your portfolio with the most relevant project for the course, or you can choose to end it with that. In case you're not following the chronology, then when you're categorizing, the first category can be one of your second best works. Please remember there are two different ways to approach it. One is through chronology and one is through categorization. Do not confuse those two. Okay, so the best work goes in the end. The second best work can go in the starting if you're doing categorization. Apart from that, we come to contents we didn't discuss yet. So the content page won't be developed at this point. The content page would be decided on once you're done doing the entire portfolio. So after you are done with the entire portfolio, you know what is the kind of layout that you used for the entire portfolio, and what is going to be the order of the artworks. Then you start making your content page. Content page can be very simple. You don't have to go overboard on that. You do not have to give a lot of like elements and everything. The only things required are the name of the project that you've given and probably the page numbers. That's it. If one huge project contains sub projects, then you're gonna give that huge project's name, maybe like branding for so and so company, then logo design, packaging design, and this. So 1, 2, 3 within that. So that yeah. Any questions? Guys, were we listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it relevant to you? Is it making sense?
Yeah.
So I think so these were certain things that I thought I should be telling you. After that, let's take a look at one of the portfolios for a graphic designer. Okay. So the portfolio I'm going to show you is a very professional portfolio. So you do not have to like pay a lot of attention to the kind of artworks he's used, the number of artworks and everything. Try to just look at the way he's presented his work and the simplicity of the portfolio. This is an example of the simplistic design. So you'll see how he's used only like lighter backdrop colors and like very less elements apart from the ones in his artworks. Screen share. There we go. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So see, this is the first page. You see the kind of elements he's gone with. Very less, and then in the backdrop, he's tried to do this. So like you have an idea like what kind of a designer this person is. So you know he's a graphic designer. He showed that through the very first page. So this is what I was talking about. Less elements. You can choose to do that even in your first page. So here you could have done doodles if you're a doodler. But also the way you're placing your font onto this particular page is very important. Then layouting. So this is his first project wherein he's done layouting for this. So if you're looking at the backdrop, it's not disturbing, it's coming together as one. So it's very light. Then so the alignment you can look at. So one thing that this person has done, which you do not have to do, is so in this picture we cannot see the text, and it's okay for his thing because he's just trying to show the layout here. But if you were doing a project wherein you were supposed to it's a concept heavy project, or there's something you've mentioned about the artwork, all of that should be visible because it's more about the layout, so we can ignore that part. Now, if you even zoom in, I can't see the text. So that shouldn't happen in yours. This one, this one. He's tried to use similar colors for like similar projects. Like, so in this project, he uses blue, so he's taken the blue backdrop. Even if you notice the gradient, the shift is very gradual. It's not so he's used pretty colors, so it's the same hue that he's used. He's just used tones and shades of the same one. So even if you're choosing to do gradation, don't take two random opposite colors. Try to take colors which go together. Then yeah, gray backdrop, a light gray backdrop. Try to give the effect of shadow wherever he's showing product. So the way he's used quotes. So this is his design idea. So what he likes about digital image. This way. And then we come to the branding projects, UI UX design. So you see the categories are clear. Every time a new project is starting, you know what it is. And if a branding project is going on for a couple of pages, then every page will have branding. And the end. So this is one example of your minimalistic design of a portfolio. Yeah, so any questions? Any doubts? Yeah, Kunal.
Yeah. How to get clear pictures of the 3D models with a simple background?
Clear picture of 3D models. Okay. Do you have a DSLR?
No.
Does anybody have a digital camera? See, it's best to use a DSLR to get high quality pictures. For 3D models, it's always better if you do that. Or maybe you can get an iPhone or even OnePlus. That you might have access to, no? Someone might have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So either of those phones will work. High resolution camera, that's all. And when you're doing the 3D model thing, keep the plain background or like anything you want, which should be relevant to that 3D model. You're doing the 3D models for the Fusion one, no?
Yeah.
You can create a backdrop also, like with the sheet or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done that.
Hmm?
Yeah. So we can also
You showed me. I think there you had something in the back.
Yeah. I've taken the pictures with the white sheet in the background.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that we can even edit
If you
that.
have very colorful uh, garments.
Yeah, they should be visible. Clearly.
So, like the simple thing is, even for the layout, if you have very colorful elements, you can choose to either like include one of their colors, or you can choose to go with a plain backdrop. Like the example we saw in the blue one, no, where he had taken color from within the element and then used it.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from that, any other question, Kunal?
No, no, no.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Gaurav sir, are you here?
Ma'am,
Yeah. Tell me, Priyanshi.
ma'am, I sent you yesterday my works. Can you
Yeah,
show?
sure, definitely. Can you share your screen? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Priyanshi, are you able to show your portfolio?
She's trying to, sir. I'm also trying to look for her work. Okay, Priyanshi, I think I got it.
Okay, ma'am.
April 1, I have to look at, no?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so right now you're just showing me the artworks you have, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, what's the theme? I can't see. It's autumn, I'm assuming. Okay, autumn, winter. All right, nice. So we've done 3 seasons. Or are these 4? 4 is that? 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Then this is mandala doodle art. Mother Nature. All right. Still life. Fashion illustration. Dance. Rangoli. This is this particular one. Watercolor.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Body art also. Sculpture. Artwork. Sculpture. 3D model. 3D. Portrait.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, Priyanshi, first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate these portions. So, first thing is going to be your pencil sketches. Then you start with the mandala and doodle. These two can come together, I think. They fit in the same similar philosophy. But then this is colored, this is not colored. Okay, just see how these two will go. No, they won't go together. So you can start with your, I think, this also looks good. The course you're applying for is
Fashion designing. Actually, I'm not sure, but yeah, I put some.
fashion design. So, for fashion design perspective, I think you need to have a couple more fashion illustration.
Okay.
Do you have time? Do you have to submit it today?
No, I have time.
You have time, right? So we can work on that. And like maybe add color also. This one, I think we can add color to this also. How
Okay.
much time does it take to do a typical fashion illustration like this one?
20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, okay. So we're gonna take about 40 minutes each for the next two, and we're going to like go and try to like get more details. So, all right. So maybe do the same
Okay.
style. Style is fine. Okay, so like if you've done the legs in this way, the body in this way, the hands in this way, it's okay. It's a style. We can work with this, but like do two more dresses, probably something that goes with the one she's wearing, and we can get a theme for that. So this looks
Okay.
much raw yet a little rustic, inspired from maybe I don't know. Okay, that's a rib. What she's wearing? It's a ribbed knitted garment you're going for. So Priyanshi, can you work on two more for this one?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Apart from that, I like your projects. Like this one is nice. This one is very nice. Then I'm not sure about this one. Maybe we had a bigger picture or like a clearer picture, or the edges weren't cut. Then you can use this. So maybe retake the picture for this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is nice. This is also nice. This is the same thing, right?
Yeah, angles are different.
Yeah. So like, try to like inset it more, as in like crop the picture, focus only on the element. Both of them can come together in one page.
Okay.
Then this one, wherever you're doing your pencil sketches, you can add this one. And like wherever you're ending your pencil sketches, you can put portraits.
Okay.
And after you're done doing your pencil sketches, like putting them together, the thing that you're gonna put is this, the color ones. So the color ones, you start with this one probably. No, actually, for the color ones, start with this one where you have three themes coming together, no? Keep them as a theme piece. So there'll be three pieces in this. One would be your autumn, then it'll be your winter and summer. So you can call like, so you can write season-based compositions or any other heading that you can think of. Okay, so these three projects can come together, but separate the ones in slide number 2. What I
Okay.
see is right now they're together, no? They should be two separate artworks. Okay. So I think after you're done adding these, you can add the remaining ones of your color ones. This one, this one. Which one is your favorite artwork, Priyanshi?
The pencil sketch one.
Pencil sketch one.
Natraz.
This one,
No.
this one.
No, ma'am. Natraz. Yeah,
Oh,
42.
Nataraj.
Yeah, this one is my favorite.
This is your favorite. Yeah, it looks quite detailed and quite heavily worked on. I'm thinking how to end the portfolio with this. That'll be a little hard to put this in the end because you're going for the fashion part of it, right? So I think it'll be relevant to keep the fashion sketches in the end.
Okay.
So whenever you're done putting these three, I think then you can start putting whatever color ones you're left with. So this one, and probably this one if you get a better picture of. Okay.
Okay.
And then in the 3D model section or the sculpture or the hobbies part of it, in the hobbies part of it, you'll give this one, these two, and this also you can give, right?
Okay.
And then you have the 3D modeling part. This man will come there, and these dancers that you've done. Okay. So those should be your
Okay.
sections. And the final section we're gonna do is fashion illustration. So I'm expecting like really nice fashion illustrations. If we are not able to come up with really good fashion illustration, that's also okay. We're gonna choose from among these and probably keep the Nataraj one. Like we'll try to figure if we can keep the Nataraj one. If the Nataraj one was colored, no, we could have kept it in the back. That's the thing. Sorry. Anyhow, I think that's what can be done. Um, so right now you can like start with separating these two and working on the two projects for this one. So like not two projects, two illustration for this one. And if
Okay,
you
ma'am.
could color it, it'll be amazing. So maybe you can choose one color scheme and do all three in those that color scheme. So like bright colors or pastels or neutrals. You can choose whatever you prefer. And when you're writing about this one, or like when you're doing this one in the hobbies part, you can give a little bit about your dancing and like how you like dancing and what is this dance form?
This is Bharatnatyam.
Bharatnatyam. So you can write about that. So your experience with Bharatnatyam. So 2-3 lines are enough. Don't go too much in detail. Then about this, you can write like what occasion it was, or like give a quote wherein you can say like you wanted to do it for this particular occasion or anything. Or if you don't want to give it, like then you can just write Rangoli and the colors you used and probably the date if you remember the date. But that's not necessary here in the hobbies part. That is more relevant to the artworks part of it. Then this is body painting. Was there a theme given to you or something, or were you working on a certain project?
There is
Priyanshi,
no theme
there's no
actually.
theme.
No.
But you're matching it to the dress she's wearing, no?
Yeah.
So was it like for some competition?
No, no.
Just for fun?
I'm doing in lockdown only.
Oh, okay. Nice. So, like when they ask you, you can say that also that during the lockdown you started like doing other hobbies. So that you can probably like when you're writing also you can write that down. Picked up a new hobby during the lockdown, like that.
Okay.
So that tells that you don't like sitting idle. All right. So work on this, Priyanshi, and I think it should be good. We can work with the layouting and all that later on. First, let's decide on the artworks. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Priyanshi.
Thank you.
Sir, I think we are done for now. Garu sir? Can I end the session? Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you, ma'am.